Thanks Kate and Andrew for agreeing to be interviewed today as one of our champion schools. So the first question for you is, how have you developed professionally today?
Well, we've been introduced to the software today, and so we've sort of developed a certain basic level of skill there. Quite enthusiastic now to develop that, carry that forward. I think we'll work together when we're back at school, and help each other, develop our skills. So we've got a basic level, and we just want to improve now.
Kate, what's been enjoyable for you?
I think the fact that coming from an art background, I do quite a lot of hands-on, and being able to use the computer to, use the work out how we can use the printer has been really good. So.
You said something before about physically taking something away.
Oh, yeah.
3D printing. Do you want to expand a little bit more on that?
Well, I just think, from my point of view, as a child when I was at school, being able to take something home and show my parents, my family, whoever, I think that's massive. So I think for pupils to have the opportunity to be able to have something that they've actually printed, I think I'm really impressed as an adult, so as a child I'd be overwhelmed, I think.
Yeah, I think when children do anything on the computer, the first thing they want to do is print whatever they've done. So now we're offering them an opportunity to print a 3D model, so they're going to be even more excited rather than their sort of piece of paper that they would normally print.
Brilliant.
To actually physically be able to touch something as a
Thank
3D
you.
model.
So thinking about your plan of action back in school, what's next? What's happening next back in school?
Upskill ourselves more, develop, be able to troubleshoot some of the issues that we think children might have when we sort of teach them this software. So always be sort of a few steps ahead of them, and really, just sort of develop ourselves. Get more familiar with the software, and create some models that we can sort of show the children so they can get excited about using this software.
So what are your initial thoughts then on how you might implement learning from today in your own teaching?
I think from my point of view, I predominantly teach GCSE art, so being able to take that into another subject area and do a bit of cross-curricular would be really good, especially for some of our students. We work in a predominantly white British boy area where students perhaps aren't as engaged, and maybe if parents have gone through schooling and they've not had higher education to kind of get them into the jobs, quite a few of our students would perhaps fall into that category where they think that they can just become car mechanics or such jobs. So being able to show them a bit more of what goes on in society and how society is evolving would be massive. I think from our point of view, jobs nowadays have changed so much, and sometimes pupils say to me, well, what am I going to do with art? Or, where's DT going to take me? And the jobs out there are just endless, really, aren't they? So.
And what about Key Stage 3 or Key Stage 4? Where do you think you can make a start in terms of bringing this printer into the classroom?
Well, in our technology faculty, the children will go on a carousel of IT, food, engineering, media. So I think within engineering or within IT, I think we can develop a scheme of work that we can introduce children at Key Stage 3, to 3D modelling. And like Kate said, that's going to help with developing their future skills. Key Stage 4, I think within engineering, some of the GCSE students will want to use 3D modelling to create their prototypes, perhaps ready for their GCSE projects, their engineering projects.
Great, thank you. How do you think learners are going to respond to this?
Oh, well, I can't imagine it being anything but positive. I think that for me it's just really inspiring. I just feel like being able to watch something be built from, essentially what doesn't look like much really, is it a roll of ribbon, which is what it essentially looks like, is really good. I can't see how they would think any differently to me, but I think as well being able to see something on that plate build up and then be able to actually take that away would be great.
You mentioned before about white British boys being inspired by this programme, but are there any other groups of learners do you think might benefit from this?
I think quite a number of groups of learners really. I think SEN pupils are all about being able to touch, I know I've got quite a young nephew and he's got a mobile and he loves touching things like that. I can't imagine again that there's any group of pupils that wouldn't be engaged by it. I think as well, even from a girl's point of view, we have girls who do our engineering at Key Stage 4, I think they'd love to be able to do this because in some ways it's very meticulous and your outcome's very matter of fact in a lot of respects, and girls really like that. We tend to find that, so I think I can't imagine there's any groups that wouldn't really be engaged by it.
So what are your highlights from today?
Being introduced to the software, in the 3D printer, getting it out of the box, seeing it, seeing what the capabilities are with some of the objects you've got, in your office, and looking forward to developing our skills, so we can create some of those models as well.
I think as well, being here and having somebody going through it with you very methodically, I've learnt so much today that if somebody had just said, oh, here's the package, go and learn it, that for me's been phenomenal, because we've actually gone through the process, we've done it together as well at the same time, so we'll be able to feed off each other at the same time. But having somebody show you exactly what you're doing and why you're doing it, and we've even to the point where when we were putting the holes into the dice, going different ways around it has been really good, because quite often you can have programs, I've used 2D design before, but I use the same thing every time and I do everything's the same way, whereas it's been quite informative for us and educational for me, definitely.